Campaign Log 001. Moonfall. Designation CT-7567. Rex. Location Uncharted Moon, Outer Rim. Date immediate aftermath of Order 66. Mission status unofficial survival operation.
We survived the crash. Barely. The commander pulled me from the Y-wing bomber. Bruised ribs, scorched armor, lungs full of smoke. The Venator we narrowly escaped nosedived into the craters of a dead moon. I managed to land our bomber safely away from the wreck, but as the adrenaline faded, so did my resilience. I remember seeing stars, then nothing. Woke up to a voice, hoarse from screaming my name. No Republic, no command structure, no Grand Army of the Republic, no brothers. Just the two of us, left behind by a war that no longer had sides. We got to shelter, a fractured cave mouth on the northern ridge. That was day one.
Crash site secure. Ships down. Systems fried. And no way to contact anyone off-world. Supplies limited. We remain the only survivors.
She recorded the distress call, but then thought better and destroyed it. No sense in telling the people who wanted us dead that we had survived. We mourned my brothers. Our brothers. The commander fought alongside my brethren as one of us. We accepted her. We respected her. We betrayed her. All because we were created for it. To kill. To backstab. To go against all the ideas of loyalty and duty that were programmed into us. We never even knew we wouldn't have a choice. It would have been less cruel if they'd just made us soulless monsters to begin with. But the members of the 501st that went down with the ship weren't mindless droids. They were men, denied a childhood, treated as property, told to die for a republic that didn't even see us as people, and which, in the end, robbed us of our free will. But men, nonetheless. The war was over. We just didn't know what that meant yet. Commander Tono insisted she is just Ahsoka now, and I did as she ordered, but inside, I couldn't accept the change yet. To me, she will always be the commander, and I her captain. How could I not be? She saved me, removed the inhibitor chip and returned my humanity to me. I owe her more now than even General Skywalker. I can't help but ask myself, what made me so special? Why me out of the entire company aboard the ship? Any one of my brothers would have fought as fiercely and served as loyally if she had freed them. But she only had the chance to save one. She chose me. I don't feel worthy of the honor. Questions haunt me. I don't ask any of them. She's got enough burdens to carry. In a way, we're both ghosts weighed down by unfinished business. Changed forever. Our old selves who thought they understood the world, burned in the fires of the crash. I dug graves for the fallen troopers, helped her identify the bodies and place them into the graves, moved dirt and snow to cover them in respect, for what felt like eternity. For hours, every rotation we worked, until the Durasteel shovel bent and warped, until even the calluses of my hands wore away and bled. I aligned helmets into grave markers with her, but she was the one to carve their names into the sticks that bore them. Not just their numbers, their names. One final recognition of their individuality in a galaxy that had mass-produced us. I couldn't do it. I'd seen too many brothers fall. Putting their names down didn't feel like peace. It felt like finality. No trace of civilization nearby. We knew we had to tough it out alone until we could repair the Y-wing bomber. The nights were cold. The days welded together after that. Survival became routine. Scavenge wreckage for rations, trap nocturnal flyers for meat, repair the Y-wing in fragments. We slept huddled together, every night colder than the last. We stopped talking about the war, stopped pretending anything was coming to save us. The thing is, you learn a lot about someone when you're surviving together. But on this frozen dead rock, I learned more about myself. I was built for war, trained for discipline, loyalty, precision. No one ever taught us how to be people. The Kaminoans didn't program tenderness, didn't show us what it was. We had learned, on our own, to prize affection when it was offered, whether from one another or from a superior officer. How could we have known we hadn't even scratched the surface? How could I have anticipated what Ahsoka, this Padawan I used to call Kid, was truly capable of? Of what she understood in so much more depth and complexity than I had ever imagined. It started with a look while we bandaged each other's injuries, then a touch of her hand on mine. I'm ashamed to say, I didn't know what men and women do outside of wartime. Not really. I thought I did. Hell, I guarded General Skywalker and Senator Amidala enough times to think I had an idea. I'd seen brothers stumble back to the barracks after a night out at 79's, the clone bar, and tell inebriated stories about strange physical encounters with lot lizards. Encounters they couldn't explain or make sense of. The boys used to make fun of those sorry sods. If only we'd known what we were mocking. As much as I thought I had pieced it together in theory, the reality of it wasn't in my knowledge base. It was blank protocol. Empty file space. Until she filled it in. She showed me what it meant to hold someone. Not just to shield or restrain. The closest I can relate it to is when your brothers carry you to bed after a night drinking, or pull you off the battlefield when you've been wounded. There's a trust to it. And yet, it's entirely different in a way I can't describe. She let me hold her like a man holds a woman. And I think I startled myself with how much I needed that. I needed to know that even existed. I'd never been afraid of dying before. Never much minded the halved lifespan of a clone. But lying there with her in my arms, I wanted time. Real time. A life. A simple press of her lips to mine. That's all it was. She kissed the war out of me. And I think for a while, I kissed the fear out of her. But good things don't last. Not for clones. Not for failed Jedi.